Yes, welcome to the second session of the day number one. In the first session, we have explored about the what is an embedded system, and then we have seen the what is a microcontroller, when to use microcontroller, what are the internals of the microcontroller, when to use microcontroller, when to not to use microcontroller, and then we move towards the simulation part of these circuits. Like we are using here the online simulator like Tinkercad. We have seen how the procedure to create the account on Tinkercad. Hope you have created the account on Tinkercad. If you are not created, you still have the time. You can, in between this, you can create the account on Tinkercad so that you can practice it. In a practical session, in a practical, whenever you have the practical session in your practical lab, you can do all the practices. Otherwise, what you can do, if you have the laptop with you, if you have the laptop with you, you can sit with the laptop, and whatever I am doing here, you can do with me also. Okay, it is better to have the laptop with you. Okay, if it is possible, then bring your laptop at the colleges. Okay, then the last point that we have discussed about the Arduino Uno, we have seen the different boards, types of the boards that the Arduino supporting, like Arduino Mega, Arduino Uno, Arduino Nano, Arduino Mini, Arduino LilyPad, and some shields also we have seen. And then we have seen some IoT boards like Node MCU, and then ESP01, and then that TTGO board, and then Raspberry Pi. We have seen all these boards, and then afterwards we have seen the specification of the Arduino Uno. Okay, so how many digital IOs are there, how many analog IOs are there. Now these information we must have, because while doing the programming, we must know that what is the pin numbers that we want to connect. If my sensor is the digital sensor, we should connect that sensor to digital pin. If my sensor is analog sensor, we should connect that sensor to analog one. Okay, so that's why. But what is analog and what is digital, we already have discussed about it. Okay, so what is digital? Digital is nothing but the 0 and 1. If there are only two levels are there, if your output is only in a two levels like 0 and 1, then that kind of sensor or the actuator is called as a digital sensor. Yes, correct. And if your sensor is giving the output in terms of some continuous signal, like from 0 to 5 volt, okay, any voltage you are getting, then that is called the analog sensor. Now analog sensor can be connected to ADC. The ADC will converting that analog signal to the digital one, and the digital value we are using for further process. Getting that? Okay, so we're going to see both the key sensors, digital as well as the analog sensors. Okay, so firstly, we are majorly focusing on the some hardware part. Why hardware part? Because the software part, it's you are the students of the computer science, and you know better know most of the programming language like C, C++ and Java. We are also focusing on the programming, but most of you are weak in this electronics, so that's why I'm focusing on the electronic first. So meanwhile, if you have any question or any doubts in your mind, then you can post your question in chat box, or otherwise unmute yourself and you can post it, or you can ask me at any time. Okay, so we'll start with the this. We'll start with this session. In this session, we are going to explore the Arduino IDE, where from you download that Arduino IDE, or how to do a program, how to start with the program. We'll do the very first program as a blinking LED, and then after that, we will explore the more programs which are deals with the LEDs. Okay, and then we will simulate that the same program that we are doing here as a real time. We'll simulate with the Tinkercad simulator. What is the procedure of the simulator we will follow? Or just if you have the notebook, if you have the pen and notebook with you, what you can do, you can note down all the steps. Whatever I'm doing here, you can note down all the steps. Okay, so we'll start with the Arduino program development. So it is the Arduino programming is based on C++. Yes, let me start slideshow. Yes. So Arduino program is based on C++ without 80% of the instruction. Okay, so you are writing when you are writing the Arduino program, you never know that you are writing the C++ program, because it is somewhat different than the C++. Background is having the C++. You just have compare with the simple C++ program. The C++ program is having a main function, but the Arduino program is not having the main function. That is a major difference. Okay, so based on C++, without 80% of the instruction, 80% of instruction is not valid for this Arduino programming. Now the programs are called as sketches. Here there are some synonyms or some alternative words has been used. Here the program we generally call as a sketch. Sketch generally, what is sketch? Sketch is nothing but the we will draw the sketch before any painting. Okay, so that is a raw sketch. So here also we are writing the sketch only. Okay, we are writing the sketch. So program is called as a sketch. Now every sketch must have compulsory two functions, and the name of that function is the setup function and the loop function. First function is called as a setup, second is called as a loop. Now if you compare the C and C++ or Java program, C++ program is having at least one function, and that is the main function. One function is needed for C and C++, but in Arduino programming, every Arduino programming must have to be implement two function, at least two function must have. You can implement more than two function also, like you can have the function which will read the sensor value. One can have the function which is write the data to the actuator. So we can have the multiple function, but at least we have the two function. The name of that function is the setup and the loop. Okay, the syntax of writing the setup is very simple. Void 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 setup. The its a bracket are empty brackets and the curly brackets. Then void loop. Here also it is not taking any argument, and the curly brackets. Okay, so setup and loop function is a two function that every sketch is must have. Now what is setup and when this setup will execute? Now if there are only one function, we definitely guarantee that only one function is executed first. But if there are two functions, we must know that which function has to be executed first and which function has to be executed second. Now here in a program, there are two functions, setup and loop. Setup will execute as a first function. So before loop will get executed, setup will execute first. But how many times this setup will execute? Only once. So setup will execute first and once. So your program start with the setup. Whatever the instruction you have written in a setup will execute, but that executed only one single time it will get executes. But loop will execute after the setup. Loop will execute after the setup. But how many times it will execute? Over and over, again and again, infinite time loop will be executes. It's just like a while one loop, infinite loop. So its name indicates that it is a loop. So whatever the statement you are writing inside the loop will execute over and over until the power is lost or the new sketches is loaded. When you remove the power supply, the loop will stop. When you insert the power supply, the loop will start continue. First setup and then loop. Setup once and then loop continuously. Or loop will stop once you load the new sketch. If you have the new program to be loaded, that program will be, if you are loading, then the loop of that new program will be started. So are you getting this? So Arduino program must have the two function. First one is the setup, second is loop. Setup will run first and once, loop will run again and again, over and over, infinite time. Now how to start with the Arduino development? Now if you want to do a programming for this microcontroller using the Arduino programming, you must have the Arduino IDE installed in your computer. Now for simulation, actually we don't require this IDE. We are going to do a simulation, but if you have the hardware with you, you should have followed these steps. If you have the Arduino IDE, if you have the Arduino Uno with you, if you have the USB cable with you, then you can go through these steps. Now I'm going to take the both one, like what to do when you have the real Arduino and what to do if you don't have the real Arduino. For what to do when the simulation we have to take, and what to do when you have the real one. Okay, so this is the steps when you have the real Arduino board. So very first step is you have to download the IDE. Why we need IDE? IDE is called as an integrated development environment. It is having the editor as well as the compiler. This IDE is having the editor as well as the compiler. We can write the program and we can compile the program also. Now, what do my compilation here? Whatever we are writing here in a C++, now that get converted into the hexadecimal format, and that hexadecimal format file get we are uploading on the Arduino board. That is also called as a hex file. That is also called as a hex file. So the job of the IDE is that conversion of the C++ program to hexadecimal one, conversion of C++ to. So that is the job of compiler actually. It will first check the syntax. If the syntax is correct, then it will go for converting your C or C++ file to the hexadecimal file or the opcode files. So that's why firstly the first step is you must have your computer must have the Arduino IDE. So where from you get Arduino IDE? So you can get the Arduino IDE by using the website called as arduino.cc. Arduino.cc. Okay, so I'm going to show you the steps for downloading the Arduino IDE. Okay, so very first one is you must have go to the arduino.cc or just go to the Google and just search for the arduino.cc. Arduino.cc is the official website for the Arduino development. Now in this website actually you are getting the different projects also. Some lessons are also there, free of cost lessons are there. Some projects also they are sharing. Arduino stores, all these new update, all the new update is been, you can get it here. Okay, now we want the software, we don't want hardware, because if you have already hardware can be purchased from locally or from Amazon. You can purchase Arduino Uno. I'm talking about Arduino Uno, or Arduino Nano also works. So firstly you have to click on the software. So very first step is go to visit arduino.cc. Second step is click on the software. Click on the software. Now here there is one web editor is also there. Web editor. You can without downloading that Arduino IDE, you can also do a program using the web editor. But if you have the installation permission, better to download the latest version of the Arduino IDE. So Arduino IDE 1.8.16, this is the latest version. You can download it here. Now download options are there for the different operating system, like Mac OS. My OS is the Mac OS, so I'm downloading this Mac OS X. But if you have the Windows operating system like Windows 8.1 or 10, you can get it from the Windows app or the Play Store of the Windows. You can get it there. It requires at least 5 to 10 minutes for installation. If you have the Linux operating system, you can use the either 32-bit version or the 64-bit version of the Linux. Download it, and installation is very simple. It is just like the other software installation. Just click. Okay, and that's it. You can go to YouTube and see the several videos which will explaining the installation of Arduino IDE on your whatever the underlying operating system you are having. Now I can show you, but my operating system is Mac OS. If you are having the Mac OS operating system, you can follow the steps. Very simple. You have to click on it. When you are clicking on it, the zip file will be downloaded. But before zip file downloading, it will say that just contribute and download. Now if you want to contribute, now it is open source and they are asking for giving some donation. Now if you want to give the donation to Arduino IDE, you can click on this $10, $25. You can donate to the Arduino IDE. Otherwise, if you don't want to donate, just click on the just download. Okay, so generally all Indians are doing this just download. I'm also doing the same, just download. And now there are some survey. Yes, you can have this survey, and after having the survey, the zip file is downloaded. Yes, Arduino.1.8.6 Mac OS X is downloaded. Now I am saving it in the software folder, so you can save it in any folder. Now my operating system is the Mac OS. That's why I have downloaded that Mac OS version of the Arduino. Now, depending on underlying hardware, underlying operating system you are having, you can go there. So like if you have the Windows operating system, you can go there, just download, and it will it will divert it to the microsoft.com. And now here it is a gate gate button is there. Just click on it and your Arduino IDE will be downloaded. The size is 172 MB for the Mac version. The size for the Microsoft or the Windows operating system might be different. Okay, I don't know the size, exact size. So a zip file, just unzip it and then upload, install it. Very simple installation is there. Okay, Mac is having very simple installation. So after installation, you can have the this type of the icon, So this is Arduino. Yes, this is Arduino. So you can have this Arduino type of the icon. Just click on it. So when you click on the Arduino icon, this type of the window will be open. Actually, this is the same window that you can appear, that you can get on Windows operating system or Linux or Mac operating system. All are having the same interface. Okay. So the same window you can get it here. Now this step you have to do only if you have the Arduino Uno hardware with you. Otherwise, you don't have to do this, but better to do this at that time, because in the next session we are going to explore the Node MCU. And Node MCU, in your kit you are having the Node MCU with you. Okay, so for the Node MCU programming we are using this Arduino IDE. So better to download at this time only. When you go to the practical session, just go to download the Arduino IDE and then install it. After installation, you can get this type of the window. So yes, when you open the new sketch, there are two functions. We have already discussed about this. Every sketch is must have the two function. What is the name of that function? First is setup and the second is the loop function. So setup will run first and once. We know that setup will run. So put your setup code here to run once. So whatever the code that you want to execute only single time, you are putting that code in a setup. But suppose if you have the code which can be executed repeatedly, now whatever the code is there, you are writing in a loop, it is get executed repeatedly. Getting this? So what is your life cycle of the sketch? Setup and then loop and then again loop, again loop. Okay, so here this is the birth and this is the full life cycle. Now there is no death. Death is when you remove the power supply. Getting that? So when you remove the power supply, suddenly the loop will stop works. Okay, so setup and the loop, these are the two functions. Now this is the comment. We know that double slash. When you put the double slash input of any statement, it is a comment. You can remove this comment. And then now very first step is save this. So how to save? Very simple. You have the menu bar here, file, edit, sketch and tools. So file menu bar contains the different file related operation like new, open, recent, sketchbook, example, close, save as, paste, setup, print. Edit is having a edit related operation like comment, uncomment, copy, paste. Okay, find next. Okay, these are very similar like your other softwares. These two are new, Sketch and Tools. Very important one. Sketch is related to the Sketch related, like program related operation. Like if you have written the program and if you want to compile, so what this called the bare minimum program. This program is called as a bare minimum program. I want to check here this program is correct or not. So just I'm go to the Sketch and click on the verify or click compile. When you click on the verify, it will start compilation. It will start compilation. But before starting the compilation, it is asking for saving your file. Always save your file before compilation. Okay, so you have to give the path. So I'm giving the path as this NHC and day one, and here I'm giving the name as first program. Okay, first program. Okay, so this is the first program. No need to give the extension. Extension will be taken automatically. The extension of every Arduino file is the .ino. Okay, .ino. INO represent it is the Arduino file. Okay, so it is done compiling. So you can see here compilation is done. If it is visible, you can see here done compilation, and it is saying that Sketch uses, you can see here, this is called as your compilation error or any type of the warning message or error message. You can get it here. So Sketch uses 444 byte of the program storage space. Maximum is the 3072720 bytes. Global variable uses 9 bytes, like 0% of the dynamic memory, leaving 2039 byte for local variables. Maximum is the 2048. Why 2048? Because dynamic memory means the RAM memory. Okay, so RAM memory is maximum 2 kilobytes. So we know that. So maximum is 2048 bytes. So RAM memory, out of the 2048 bytes, we are using the 9 bytes of memory only. Okay, this program is using 9 bytes of memory, and the size of this program is 444 bytes. When you compile this program, you are having the size of that program as a 444 bytes. Okay, maximum we can compile up to the 30720 bytes, but it is not 32K. It is not 32K. So what about the remaining bytes? The remaining bytes are used for the bootloader. Generally, when you are using the Arduino Uno board, the whatever the IC that they are using are Atmega 328. This IC is having the inbuilt bootloader. That's called the Arduino bootloader is installed, must have to be installed in that IC. If that IC is having the Arduino bootloader, then only you can upload the program through this Arduino IDE. Okay. So if this bootloader is not present in that IC, you cannot upload the program using the Arduino IDE. Okay, so that's why you must have the ISP programmer there. That is a different part. Okay, but here remember here for doing a programming through the Arduino IDE, every IC must have Arduino bootloader to be installed in that particular IC. Arduino bootloader works as an operating system. It will manages all these things. That your program is uploading. Getting that? So the very first program to be executed as a bootloader, then your program. Only your program is not there. Bootloader with the program is there. Bootloader and the program. So this remaining bytes, total bytes are 32 kilobytes. Okay, now only 30 kilobytes are available. So what about the 2 kilobytes? So 2 kilobytes are used for the bootloader. Getting that? Okay. Okay, so we have seen that. Okay, now Sketch. We were seeing here Sketch. So first is the compilation. Okay, compilation. When you click on the compilation, it will start compilation. It will compiling. And after compilation, you are having the result as the compilation done. Compilation done. After compilation, done compiling. This is the message. This is called a status bar. The next one is the upload. Next one is upload. So in case if you have connected the Arduino board with your computer through the USB, then you can upload through this upload button. You can upload whatever the program you have written, you can upload through this upload button. Okay. If you have the programmer, if you have the external programmer, if you don't have, if your Arduino IDE, if your Arduino Atmega IC is not having the bootloader, then you can upload through the programmer. Okay. But generally, if you are using the Arduino Uno board, we are using only upload button. We are using only upload button. Okay. This is not export compile library. It is not useful now. Show sketch folder, it is not also useful. Show sketch folder will open the folder in which the sketch has been stored. Okay. Next one is include library. Okay, this is a very important one regarding to the including the external libraries. Now, what is library? Library is the one pre-written program. It is already one program is written by some other developers, and if you want to use that program as it is in your program, then you can import that library in your Arduino IDE. Okay, so for example, you want to execute, you want to interface the RTC real-time clock. Okay, then RTC, if you want to execute or if you want to interface, you don't have to write down the start from the RTC. What you need to do, you need to go to the include library. If you have the zip file of that library, you can click on here, or otherwise you can go to the manage library. You can go to manage library, and in that manage library, it will search all the libraries present online on internet, which can be used for Arduino programming. Okay, so this is a library manager. It is get open. It takes some time because it is downloading the index from the internet. And after downloading the index from the internet, you can search out here. You can search out what you need to interface. So over here, updating the list. It takes some time. Okay, so now I can type here. So you can type here RTC. Now I want to search for the RTC library. So I can search out here RTC. Just click on this RTC, type RTC and just press enter. Now all the libraries which support the RTC, you can get it here. Now all the libraries are being developed by the different developers. Like you can see here, very first one, the RTC0 has been by Arduino itself. Ace time clock is from the Brian T. Park, and then Akafusu wire RTC library is for Akafusu. This AVR standard C time library is for Philip Stevens. So whatever the actually you require, you can download here. Okay, like if I want to install, if my RTC is the DS323231. Okay, if my RTC is DS3231, then I can install it. Now it is already installed. That's why it is showing install. Suppose if this library, if I want to install this DS1307, I can click on this install button, and then my installation gets start. Installation is started. Getting this? So in this way, you can add the new functionality to the Arduino IDE. Okay, so very important one. We are doing this several times while doing this workshop. We have to download some libraries from the internet. So just remember this sketch, include library, and the manage library. Okay, some libraries are not available there. Okay, so you can download that libraries from the zip as a zip from the github.com, and I will be providing that zip file also. And that zip file, if you have, what you can do, just you can click on this add.zip library. You can click on it, and now it is asking for the zip file. It is asking for, you have to give the path for that particular zip file. For example, let me check if I'm having any zip file library or not. Okay, so this zip file resources.zip, but it is not the library. It's not library. Yes, look at here. Okay, so this Radiohead library is there. Suppose if I want to install this Radiohead library, I have downloaded the Radiohead library and just I have chosen this and then click on the choose. Okay, so here there is a message. There is a message. Actually, it is already installed. So the message can be it is already being installed. Otherwise, if it is new library, then the message is, look at here, the library name Radiohead is already exist because I have already installed it. Okay, so second time it is not installed. Okay, if new library has been added, so here the message will be the library has been successfully added. The library has been successfully added. Okay, so how to check that the library is successfully added? You can go there, file and examples, file examples, and in that examples you can have that examples from that libraries, example from that library, like this Radiohead. Let's check here. This is the Radiohead, and this is the different program that is supported by that particular Radiohead library. Getting this? Okay. So RTClib library, these are some programs. Okay, Talkie library, these are some programs. Okay, Tiny GPS library, these are some programs. So they are every library is giving some sample programs. Sample, that's called the testing program. Okay, so we can also test out that testing program. So are you getting this? Sketch and include library, very important one. Manage library for download the libraries from the internet. Add .zip library to upload the library or to include the library if you have the zip file with you. Okay, now next one is tools. Tools is again very important one. Sketch and tool, these are the two important menu bar. Okay, so first is tool. So out of this tool, auto, format, archive, sketch, fix, manage libraries, these are not so much important, but these two are important. Serial monitor and serial plotter. Now serial monitor is work only when if one Arduino board is connected. Now I have not connected any Arduino board, and when I try to connect, when you try to open this Arduino serial monitor, then it will give error. It will give error. Okay, so if my board is connected, let me connect the board. Let me connect the board and let's check that. I have connected the board now, and now let's check here. I'm selecting the port and now check with the serial monitor. So you can see our serial monitor is now open. Serial monitor is now open. Okay, so this is called as a baud rate. So what is baud rate and all these things, so we'll see in a next session in a serial programming. But remember here, for serial programming we need this serial monitor. So serial monitor is generally used to receive the data from the Arduino. Okay, receive the data from the Arduino. If the Arduino is sending some data, you can get that data here. And if you want to send the data to Arduino, then you can type here, like, so I want to send Ganesh. Okay, so just type there and send, click on the send button. Okay, so when you click on the send button, the Ganesh will be transmitted. Ganesh will be transmitted to the Arduino board. Okay, so serial monitor is used to transmit and send data through the serially. Now the next one is the serial plotter. Serial plotter is generally used to plot the data which are getting you are getting from the serial monitor. Okay, or the serial port. Okay, so some sensor is connected and the sensor is continuously sending the data. Now if you want to plot it, plot means like a graph. You want a graph, you don't want only the numbers, you want graph to be displayed here. Okay, so that graph you can display when you are opening this plotter. When you opening the plotter, the graph will be displayed. We will see this at the time of when you see the analog sensor. Okay, a serial plotter will be see at the time of analog sensor. Next one is the board. Okay, this board. Now this boards is very much important when you install this Arduino IDE first time, you are only having this list of the board only. You are only having this list of board. My Arduino IDE is having the ATtiny microcontroller, ESP32 as well as ESP8266 because I have installed it. Later I have installed, but in your case you are having only this one. In your case, if you are installing at the first time, you are having only this one. So you have to select here which my Arduino board you are doing a programming. Now I'm doing the programming for Arduino Uno. So just select Arduino Uno. So how to select? Just go to the boards and then Arduino Uno. Okay, Arduino Uno. So that's it. Arduino Uno. And now you can see here, again go to the tools and let's check that Uno is selected or not. Yes, board Uno is selected. Now if my board is having the as a Arduino Nano, so you can go there and you can select this Arduino Nano. Where is Arduino Nano? This is the Arduino Nano. So you can select Arduino Nano. If you have the Mega, you can select Mega. If you have Leonardo, you can select Leonardo. Micro it is having. Mini Pro, LilyPad. Which board you are having? Which board you are having? Wi-Fi. Which board you are having? Actually, you have to select that one. You have to select that one. Getting that? Okay. But suppose in your case, this is not there. ESP8266 is ESP32, ATtiny, this microcontroller is not there. You can get that using the board manager. So you can, just like library manager, you can install the new library. Here also using the board manager, you can download the new boards. Whatever the new boards is coming in the market, that you can update here itself. Like suppose ESP8266. Okay, so this is the board. This is a new board is coming. So I already installed, that's why it is a button as a remove. But in your case, there is a button like install. This install button is be there. Okay, when you click on the install button, your ESP8266 board has been installed, and then after that, you can get that boards on that boards menu. Go to the tools. 1 minute is taking so much time. Go to the boards, and now you can have the ESP8266 boards. Okay, likewise, which board you are having, that will be, you have to install. You have to install that boards first. Okay, now next one is port. Port is nothing but it is called as a hardware port, through which your board can be accessed. So here we have connected the Arduino Uno board through the USB cable. So here they are going to install one driver for the USB to serial converter. Okay, so using that driver, we can connect to that port. We can connect to that board. Okay, what is the name of that board? You can get it here. Okay, now look at here. Here I have connected the board. Now how I can say that this is the port of the Arduino board. Yes, here it is written Arduino Uno. Okay, also I can check that here. Suppose if I remove this Arduino Uno, I have removed this Arduino Uno. Again, I'm going to the tools. And now there is only one port is there. That is a Bluetooth port. This is the port of my Bluetooth of my laptop. Okay, my laptop is having the Bluetooth. So to access that Bluetooth, this is the port. Okay, if I again connecting my Arduino board to computer, again go to the tools. Now you can have this second port. Okay, so you can check here by just removing and plugging again. So what is the name of that one? So in Linux operating system and the Mac operating system, the name of the port is look like /dev/cu.usb modem, like that. Okay, so this is in the case of only Linux and the Mac operating system. In case of Windows operating system, you can get the name as COM1, COM2, COM3, COM1, COM2, COM3, COM4, COM5, COM6, COM8. Any COM port you can get it there. That's why it is also called the COM port, COM port, COM port. Getting that? Okay. So firstly, the first step is you have to select the board, for which board you are doing a programming. Next one is select the port. select the port, and then you can upload it directly. Okay, you can check the information of the board also. Just click on the get board information. You can have the board name as Arduino Uno. Its serial number is also written there. Okay, but it is not, it is no use, only to check that board is working or not. Board, get board info. And very important one, this has to be note down. This has to be note down in your notebook. Programmer has to be AVR ISP MK2. Programmer has to be AVR ISP MK2. Yes, AVR ISP MK2. And what is that burn bootloader? Okay, so if you have the fresh IC of Atmega 328 and that IC is not having the bootloader program to be installed in that IC, then you can burn the bootloader from this option. But there are separate procedure is there. There is one tutorial is there. You can go YouTube and visit how to burn the bootloader on Atmega 328 using the Arduino Uno. You can go there, you can visit, follow the steps, and now bootloader can be uploaded on that Atmega 328. Okay, why we generally purchase the IC without bootloader? Because of the price. Okay, if you purchase the IC without bootloader, the price is somewhat less than 30 to 40 rupees. Okay, price is less than 30 to 40 rupees. But if you purchase the IC, same IC with bootloader, you are getting the IC costlier than the 30 to 40 rupees. Sorry. Okay, so burn bootloader is it is not for your case. If you have mistakenly purchased the without bootloader ICs, then this burn bootloader is very much useful. So this is your menu bar of the Arduino IDE. Now here some shortcut buttons are also given. The very first one is the verify button. So when you click on the verify button, so it will start compilation. It is very similar like sketch and verify. So here the shortcut button is given, compiling sketch. Okay. So for compilation, you can directly click on this one. No need to go sketch and verify. You can click there, verify. So it is a shortcut button, shortcut icon is given. The next one is upload. So if this program, if you want to upload, you can click here and it is get uploaded. So it is first compilation. When you upload it, first it get compile and then upload. Compile and upload. This button is the compilation and the upload. So it is uploading and done uploading. When you get this message done uploading, it means that the uploading is done. Next one is the new. When you want to open the new sketch, click on the new. This is open. If the existing sketch you want to open, click on the open. Save. If you want to save this, just click on the save button or just Control S, press the Control S. Okay, here again one more at the right hand side topmost, there is one serial monitor button is there, serial monitor. This using this serial monitor button, you can open the serial monitor. Okay, you can open serial monitor, getting this. And here this is called as your writing area. It is called as an editor where you are writing your program, whatever the program you are writing here only. And here this is the status bar, and this is the your all the error messages you are getting here. Okay, or the terminal bar. Okay. And here at the last, at the bottom of the right hand side, you can get directly on which board and which port is selected. Arduino Uno on /dev/cu.usb modem 14201. If you are able to see this at the last. Okay, so this is all about the Arduino IDE. We will again come back to that Arduino IDE. So we'll see that what are the steps. First, download and install Arduino IDE. Connect the board to your computer via USB cable. Yes, if needed, install the drivers. Yes, it is asking for driver installation. Just install the drivers and then launch the Arduino IDE. Select the board. Yes, board has been selected, Arduino Uno. Select the serial port. Serial port can be checked. Yes, by connecting or disconnecting your USB cable, and then open the Blink example and upload the program. Okay, so this is the steps. I have already shown you these steps. Download. This is the editor. I have already explained all these things. What are the different meaning of this, all the icons. This is upload, verify, new, open, save. Okay, and how to select the board. Yes, I have shown you board, Arduino Uno, and port. Yes, yeah, this is in your case, suppose if you have the Windows operating system, then you can get it this tools, port, and COM6 or COM3 or COM2, any port, any COM port you are getting. Okay, and then done, and you have to write down the setup function and loop function, and after writing the loop function, now your program can be run. Now when you want to write any Arduino sketch or any Arduino program, what is its syntax, how your program can be written? Okay, so the Arduino sketch can be written like this. Like before setup and loop, all the global variable you should declare all the global variables. So what is global variable? Global variable is the variable which can be accessed by the setup as well as loop or other function also. So whatever the you can consider as a common variable, all the common or the global variables you can declare before the setup function. Okay, and some variables, suppose if you want to be initiate or if you want to declare inside setup or loop, you can be declare, but that is the local variable to that function only. Now you know the local and global variable. Local is accessing only through that function and global is accessing over the program. Okay, so global variable can be accessed by setup as well as loop, but if you declare any variable inside loop, then that is only accessible within the loop. So this is the syntax you have to follow. First global variables, and then setup, and then loop. If you want to include some libraries, so you can include the libraries before global variable. So just like hash include and some libraries you want to install, you want to include. Okay, so that you can do before the global variable. Now, how the variable declaration we can do? We can have the two types of variable, local variable and the global variable. Yes, we have discussed. But variable, if you are declaring the variable inside setup, look at here, int variable 3 equal to 3. Okay. Now this variable is a local to setup. It means that setup can only able to access. But look at the variable 1 and variable 2. Now this is declared outside setup and loop. So it is called as a global variable. So it means that setup can also access, loop can also access. So setup and loop both can access. So that's called as a global variable. But you can make some variable that that might be local or global, some variable as a constant. Why constant? Once you declare that variable, any other function, if any other function wants to change, if they are trying to change that variable, it gives error. So if you declare that variable, it is fixed. So how to make that variable as a constant? Very simple. Just use the const keyword. Const int variable 1 equal to 1. Const int variable 1 equal to 1. So it will make that variable 1 as a constant. So here variable 1 value is fixed 1. Variable 2 value is 2, but we can change that variable 2 value in setup as well as in loop function. Okay, so it is a constant or read only variable available anywhere, and here the variable available only in this function between the curly brackets. Getting this? Now these are some important functions that is very that we need. The serial related functions, pin mode related function, digital read related function, digital write related function. We will see one by one. But before starting this, let me show you the very first program by sharing. Okay, we'll do the very first program as an example program. Okay, so what you need to do, you need to go to the file and examples. This is for testing the board. This is only for testing the board. The board is okay or not. Every time before starting any programming, first check the board. It is okay or not. So if that board is new, let's check the board. How to check the board? Go to the file, example, basics, and the blink. What is the path? File, example, basics, and the blink. Just click on this blink. Now it will open the blink. It will open. Now minimize it. And now this is my blink program. This is the blink program. It turn on LED for 1 second and then turn off for 1 second repeatedly. Okay, so this the program is written already. We don't have to write it directly. We can test it out. This is called the testing program. This is called a testing program. So I can switch the camera first. Okay, so tell me, is it visible? You can see here when LED is connected. Here, this LED, this called as a power on LED. This power on LED is on. When I remove the USB, when I remove the USB, this LED is off. Okay. When I insert the USB again to my laptop, so this USB is on. So it means that this board is having the getting the power supply. Okay. Now let me check. Now look at this L LED. This L LED. Look at this L LED. It is constantly on. It is constantly on. But I want to make it as a blink LED. Okay. So that's why I'm uploading the blink LED sketch. Blink LED sketch. So what I'm doing, I am just first selecting the board and port. Okay, before uploading the program, always select the and the port is successfully selected, and then click on the upload button. Click on the upload button. Now it is compiling. It's compiling sketch, and after compilation it is uploading. Yes, done uploading, and let me show you the output. Yes, are you able to see the output here? Yes, the LED start blinking. LED, where before uploading this program, before uploading the program, actually that LED is constantly glowing. Now here the LED start blinking. Now what I can do, I can connect the LED here. I can connect one LED to the pin number 13 and the ground, and you can visualize more. You can see here, if I'm connecting the one LED, the LED start blinking. Okay, because ground is there connected. Ground is there. Okay, this anode is connected to 13 and the cathode is connected to ground. Okay, so if you are doing the proper connection, then only this LED can be, you can glow the LED. Okay, so if I am connecting the LED in a opposite polarity, then you can see here the LED will not be glow. Okay, it is not glowing the LED. It is not glowing the LED. Why? Because it is working, LED is only working in a forward biasing. So this long terminal is the anode terminal. You can see here, this LED is having the two terminal. You can see every LED is having the two terminal, the long terminal and the short terminal. Long and the short terminal. Long terminal is called as an anode, anode of the LED, anode. Also called as a positive terminal, anode or the positive. Just remember it is anode or positive. And this is the cathode. Short one is called as a cathode terminal. It is called as a negative terminal or the ground terminal. Okay, so this terminal has to be connected to ground and this terminal has to be connected to the positive side. Getting that? Okay. Yes, are you getting this? Are you able to see the output? Type yes, anyone? Type yes if you are getting this, or any question if you are having, you can ask me the question. I'm waiting for 2 minutes for the questions. Okay, so here we have tested the program. We have tested the program, but that program is not written by us. That program is a ready-madely written. So what happen if I want to write the same program? What are the steps? So we'll see that steps first. Okay, so this program I don't want, blink LED I don't want. I want to write my first program. I want to write my first program. So I'm writing the first program. So I'm sharing that only. Okay. So here we know that here every sketch must have the two functions, setup and the loop. Setup is must, loop is also must. Setup will call, it is called first and once. It is called first and once, and it is loop will call after setup. It is called after setup and repeatedly. It is called repeatedly. It is called repeatedly. So whatever the code that we want to execute only first and only once, that we are putting into setup, and the steps that and the and the statement that we want to repeatedly execute, we are putting in the loop function. Okay, now what setup, what is the setup we want to do? Now here suppose LLED, that is consider the LLED. LLED is connected to pin number 13. LLED is connected to pin number 13. Okay, so I can define the one variable. I can define the variable called as a LED, called as LED, which is equal to the number, pin number to which that LED is connected. Now LED is internally connected to pin number 13. We know that. So that's why I'm making here int LED equal to 13. Now here it is I must have this declared as a constant. Why? Because once I connected LED anode terminal to pin number 13, it is fixed. We never change. That's why I have make it as a constant. My week is a constant. Always remember that whatever the pins you are assigning, all the pins variables you should declare as a constant. You should declare as a constant. If you are not declaring, then there is also no error. There is also no, that is also fine. But it is better to do some practice like this. So it is a constant variable LED equal to 13. Okay. Now what is 13? 13 is the pin number. 13 is the pin number. What is this pin number? This pin is the digital pin. Pin 13 is the digital pin. 13 is here, the pin 13 is digital pin. Digital, which pin? IO pin. It is a digital IO pin. It means that pin number 13 can be used as a digital IO, can be used as a digital IO. IO represent input or output. It means that the same pin I can use as an input, the same pin I can use as an output. Same pin I can use as an input, same pin I can use as an output. So here I'm using pin number 13 as an input or output. I have to define first, because compiler must know that you are using pin number 13 as an input or output. Your compiler must know that. If you are not telling to the compiler that I'm using the pin number 13 as an input or output, then the compiler will not be able to give the commands. That's why it is must, if you are using any pin, you must declare it is an input pin or it is output pin. Now what is LED? LED is an output device. LED is a output device. It means that pin number 13 is also configured as output device. Why? Because we have to give the command to the LED. Command to the LED through the pin number 13. So pin number 13, from the pin number 13, we are giving the output command. From the pin number 13, we are giving the output command. So pin number 13 should be configured as an output. So how to configure the mode of the pin number 13 as output? So there is a function called as a pin mode function. The name of the function is called as a pin mode, which will responsible to set the mode of the particular pin. Now what are the different modes? The modes are input or the output. Input or output. So pin mode. So which is the pin? Now this pin mode function is taking the two arguments. First argument is the what is the pin number? Pin number is 13. Give the 13, or you can give here the variable name, because LED is nothing but the 13. LED is 13. So either you can write down here 13, or either you can note down here variable name. Okay, so you can have the LED comma. What is the second argument? The second argument is the mode in which you want to use this particular pin. What is the mode? The mode is output. The mode is output. So pin mode LED comma output, pin mode LED comma output. That's it. So it means that when you execute this particular statement, it means that you are configuring the set the pin mode of 13 as output. You are setting the pin mode of the 13 as a output. You are setting the mode of the pin 13 as output. Getting this? These are all comments. Okay, these are all comments. No need to write down. But here, now how many times we want to do this? We want to execute this only one time. Because at the start of my program, I want to tell to the compiler that configure the pin number 13 as output only one time. If it is configured as output, lifetime now until the program get over, or if you are changing the pin mode, if you are changing that mode of that pin through the pin mode function again, that particular mode of that pin is output pin. So it means that we have to execute this before executing our program, and we have to execute only once. We have to execute this function only one time. So that's why I am putting this pin mode function in a setup function. I'm putting this pin mode, I'm calling this pin mode in a setup. So whatever the code you want to execute first and only once, we have to put into the setup function. Getting this? So pin mode LED comma output. Okay, so we have set the mode. Okay, pin number 13 can be used as output now. Okay, done. Now next one is I want to blink LED. Now what do you mean by blinking LED? What do you mean by blinking LED? Now LED can be blinked using, now here, look at here. This is the LED. This is the LED. This is the LED, and suppose here one register is connected. Okay, and here it is connected to ground. Here it is connected to ground, and now this pin is connected to pin number 13. This is anode of this LED is connected to pin number 13. Now what do I blink? Blink means one time on and second time off. On and off. Next time again on. Next time again off. This effect is called as a blink effect. This is called as a blink effect. On and off, on and off. Just do this one time and put that code in loop function. It will be repeatedly infinite time. So continuously that on off, on off, on off, on off will be done. So how to on this LED? Tell me how to on this LED. If I want to on this LED, now cathode is already connected. This cathode is already connected to ground. Now this anode should be connected to which position? Anode is connected to it. To on this LED, anode should be connected to what power supply? Ground or the positive power supply? Tell me, ground or positive power supply? We know that anode is a positive terminal. So anode should be connected to positive terminal. If you want to switch on this LED, if you want to switch on the LED, connect anode to positive terminal. But we are not connected to here pi volt. We are connected to the pin number 13. Now what is pin number 13? It is a programming pin. It is a programming pin. It means that we can send 0, we can send 1 means 5 volt. We can send ground, we can send 5 volt through the programming, because it is a programming pin. We can control the voltage available at the pin number 13 through the programming. Now how we can control? Very simple. How we can control? We can control through the function. What is the function? The function is called as a digital write function. The name of the function is digital write. The name of the function is here digital write. So digital write, and digital write is the function. Now W is capital. Now look at here, we are using the camel casing. If there are two words in a function, the very first letter of the word is small case, but the second letter of the second word is the capital case. It's called the camel casing. Here also we are following the same pin mode. There is no space in between the pin and mode. Directly we are writing. Digital write is also same. W is capital. Now the digital write function is taking the two argument. First one is 13. Which pin? Now instead of 13, you can write down LED, because LED equal to 13. Okay. Now the next one is the what to write. What to write? You want to write high or you want to write low? High represent 5 volt, low represent 0 volt. Or you want to write 1 or 0? 1 represent 5 volt, 0 represent 0 volt, that is like ground. So you can have this one. Suppose I'm writing here the high. If I'm writing high, it means that here the pin number 13 is now high voltage, like 5 volt. If it is 5 volt, anode is connected to 5 volt, cathode is already connected to ground. So what happened here? The LED start glowing. So LED is start glowing. LED is on. Now how much time we want to on the LED? So we have to wait for it. So we have to wait for the 1000 millisecond. Here the delay function we are calling. And that function will generate the delay of 1000 millisecond. It generates the delay of 1000 millisecond. So we have on the LED for 1000 millisecond, like 1 second. Now we want to off the LED. So how to off the LED? Very simple. Use the same function. And in the same function, we are writing LED comma. Yes. Now when you are writing high, it means that 5 volt is connected. Now when you are writing low, 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 then what happened? When you are writing low, what happened here? 0 volt is connected. 0 volt is connected to anode. Cathode is also connected to 0 volt. 0 volt means ground. 0, 0, both are 0. LED is off. So this LED will be on only if anode is at higher side. That is high level, 5 volt. Otherwise, the cathode, if the cathode is connected to ground and if the anode is also connected to ground, then the LED is off. LED remains off. Again, wait for how many times? How much times we want to off the LED? 1 second. So again, delay 1000. Now you can see here the program. You can see the program. Digital write LED comma high. High represent 5 volt. Instead of high, you can use 1. 1 and high both are having the same thing. 1 and high both are having. So low, instead of low, you can put 0. 0 and low both are same thing. So you can put low. In next program, we will use that high, 0 and 1. But here, we will test out this program. So let me check this program, it is correct or not. So how to check? Verify it. I have written this program, but it is syntaxically correct or not, we have to check here. So it's compiling, the sketches get compiled. So done compiling, it means that my program is correct. Now I am trying to upload it. So I'm sharing my whole screen. And where is upload button? Yes, here it is, upload button. Upload. When you click on the upload button, yes, when you click on the upload button, it start uploading and done uploading. And now you can see the output. This LED, the LED start blinking. With the rate of 1 second. Okay, with the rate of 1 second. Let's change that delay. Let's change the delay. Now, first time, the program, the LED is on for 1 second and off for 1 second. Make it as a 500 millisecond. 500 millisecond means 0.5 second, half second. So LED is on for half second and LED is off for half second. Okay, so upload it. So after uploading, let check the output. Yes, now you can see here the blinking rate has been increased. Now it is on for 0.5 second, off for 0.5 second, on for 0.5 second, off for 0.5 second. Yes, now this we have tested the LED, we have tested the board. Now it is correct and it is working very fine. Now I want to connect the real LED using the breadboard. So what we need, that is the next practical. Now what is the what we need? We need a register. Firstly we need the LED. We need one register for current limiting, because LED, if you cannot connect the LED to 5V directly. Okay, so you should connect some register in between this. So that's why this LED plus the register. The register, it can be 220 ohm or 330 ohm. Okay, you can connect the 220 ohm or 330 ohm register. Okay, this is the requirement, and the very major requirement is the breadboard. Breadboard is the requirement. And what we need again, we need some breadboard wires. So that is called as a male to male breadboard wires. This is the male to male breadboard wires. You can see here how this is get connected. Okay, so this is the male to male wires. This is called the male to male wire. This wires we need to connect this board. Okay, so how I am connecting, look at here very carefully. You can see here. Now here, this is my LED. Okay, I know the anode and cathode. Where is the anode? The long terminal is the anode. Here the long terminal is the anode, long one is the anode, and the short one is the cathode. Okay, so take this breadboard. Okay, I'm taking like this. Take this breadboard and now connect here. Now here anode is connecting. Okay, I'm connecting like this. So cathode is at the left hand side, anode is at the right hand side. Do not connect in the same. Do not connect like this. If you are connecting like this, then it means that the both are short circuited, because this we know that columns are interconnected. So do not connect like this. This is a wrong connection. You have to connect like this. Okay, so the both anode and cathode should be connected in a different columns. Okay, so that's it. So I'm connecting here. Okay, that's it. Okay, then what I need again, I'm connecting here. Okay, so what I need one register. Register should be connected in a series of the cathode. You can connect in a series of anode also, no matter. So this is the cathode terminal. This terminal is the cathode terminal. So I have to connect to this terminal. So I don't have to connect here directly, because here the more holes are there and these are all interconnected. So I can connect here, I can connect here, I can connect here. 3 terminals. Okay, so here I'm connecting at the last terminal, and now the second terminal I'm directly connecting to the here, or directly you can connect here itself, because this is a long terminal. This register is having some long terminal. I can directly connect to this terminal. Now you can consider this whole holes as the second terminal of the register. So whenever you want to do a connection, you can connect anywhere in these holes. Okay, so my connection is done. Now what to connect here? The second terminal of the register should be connected to the ground. So I'm connecting here. Okay, so just look at here carefully where I'm connecting. Look at here, because the same connection you have to do in a simulator. Okay, so that's it. And here, where is the ground? Here it is a ground, so you can connect the ground. There are 3 grounds, 1, 2, and here also there is one ground. Okay, so you can connect anywhere. So here I have connected ground here. Okay, take one wire again. I'm taking the other color wire. Okay, so this is the second wire I'm connecting. So connect the second wire at this terminal, anode terminal. You can see here how I am connecting here. It is connected like this, and now I'm connecting to which pin? Yes, we have programmed for pin number 13, so we should connect to the pin number 13. We should connect to the pin number 13, and you can see here the LED start blink. The LED start blink. Are you getting this? Yes. Are you getting this? So if you have the this board with you and the breadboard and LED and this with you, then you can easily do this. But suppose if you don't have, then no matter, you are having that simulator. So in the next step, what we'll do the same connection in a simulator, and we're writing the program there, the same program we're writing there, and we'll see that how this same program we can simulate, how the same program, and at that time we don't need to use the real board, real hardware. So I'm disconnecting the hardware. So here I have disconnected hardware. This is the USB wire. I have removed the USB wire. Okay, now I'm sharing my screen, and now I'm minimizing this and I'm opening the Tinkercad. Okay, so open the Tinkercad. So follow the steps. So open the Tinkercad. You already have login. If you already have login, if you're not having login, then just click on that sign in. If you already have created the account or Tinkercad, go to the Cylil there. So you can check here, IoT Workshop LSC. This is my account. Go to the circuits, and now I'm creating the new circuit. So create a new circuit. Every time you have to create a new circuit. Every time you have to create new circuit. So the first step is rename it. Very first step, rename it. Click on it, and I am giving the name as Blink LED. Okay, the name, because I'm going to design the Blink LED program here. Okay, so what are the components that we actually need for developing this project? You have to import it here. So what are the different components? Firstly, we need Arduino. Okay, so we need Arduino. So let's get the Arduino. So this is Arduino Uno. So grab this Arduino here and place it here. Yes, this is the Arduino Uno. Okay, Arduino Uno. Just place it on this working area. Okay, then after that, what I need again? I need the breadboard. Okay, so this is the breadboard small. I'm the same breadboard that I'm using for the interfacing of real hardware. The same breadboard I'm using here. Breadboard. And what the different components I need? I need the LED. I need LED. So here is the LED. So connect this LED here. Okay, connect the LED here. Okay, so connect the LED here. Okay, and what I need again? I need the resistor. So this is the resistor I need. Okay, so what should be the value of resistor? So I told you that the value of the resistor is 330 ohm. Okay, so make it as 330 ohm. Make it as 330. So how to do this? Just click on this, and I want ohm. So click on this, and what is the value in ohm? 330. So it is 330 ohm. Okay, so that's it. And now I'm connecting this to the cathode. Okay, so this cathode is there. You can see how I have connected. So this is cathode. Cathode is connected to the one of the terminal of resistor. Second terminal of resistor is here. Now you can connect it here to this terminal. Okay, I'm making as a black. Okay, now that's it. Now what we need to connect the ground. So ground, just connected ground. Connect the ground here. The ground has been connected. You can see here, ground has been connected to the LED through the register. Okay, now what we need? we need to connect the anode to which pin? Pin number 13. So here, pin number 13. Here I have connected to pin number 13. Change the color. I'm giving the purple color. Okay, so that's it. Now we have done the connection, the same connection that we have done on a real hardware, the same connection we have done here. You can take a snapshot of it, and yes, I'm taking the snapshot. Okay, so after taking the snapshot of this, let's write the code. Now where to write the code? Because in our computer we have Arduino IDE, but here we don't have Arduino IDE because we are using Tinkercad simulation. So where to write the code? So to write the code, we have this code editor. So you have to click on this code editor. Click on the code editor. Now here there is a block programming is there. Block programming. Now we are the engineer and we are not using block programming. Block programming is for the students of say 8th to 10th. So that's why we go to the text programming. So click on the text and click on the continue. Okay. How? Text. Okay, text and continue. Okay. Now by default, if you see this, by default, this is the program you are always getting. This is the program you are always getting when you open the new code editor for this Arduino IDE. What you can do, you can erase this, you can delete this code, and now you can add your code. Like what the code I have done, constant. 1 minute, Shobha ma'am is calling. Okay, so we'll write down the same program that we have written earlier. So first one is a constant integer, and the name is the LED, and you can give any name. You can give any name. Like if this is the status LED or warning LED, you can give the specific name also. Here the 13, pin number 13 I'm using. And then you can have the two function. The very first function is setup function. Okay. And the second function is a loop function. You can write down that loop function. Okay, so and what we have included in setup, pin mode. Okay, so pin mode, and then LED comma yes output. Okay, so because LED pin, we have to make it as output. Okay, we have to make the mode of the pin number 13 as output. That's why we are using the statement pin mode LED comma output. Now we have to write down here the high to pin number 13. So we are using the function called the digital write. Digital write LED comma high. So it will make the pin number 13 as a high, and then delay of how much second? Suppose 1000 millisecond. 1000 millisecond. Delay is always accepting the in a millisecond always. Okay, so just copy this and paste it here, and just remove this high and right there low. Okay, so here what happened here? LED is high for 1 second, LED is low for 1 second. Okay, let's check the program, it is correct or not. So how to check? Very simple. There is start simulation button is there. Start simulation. You just have to click on the start simulation button, and you just see this. The LED start blinking. LED start blinking. Getting this? Now you can change here. You can change. You can change the delay. Yes. Now the LED will start blinking for every 0.5 second. LED start blinking for every 0.5 second. So what we can do here, I have connected only one LED and I have connected the LED to pin number 13. So, but suppose pin number 30 I don't want. I want to connect this LED to pin number 2 because pin number 2 is near to my circuit. So what to do? Just very simple. Do the same connection. Do the same connection. Only connect this to pin number 2. Okay, so pin number 2, and now you need to change the code. So in a code, what to change here? Now only this 13 has to be replaced by pin number 2, and that's it. It starts simulation and your program is running. First, in the first program, we have simulated with the pin number 13. Now we have collected the allowed of the LED to pin number 2, and that's it. Okay, now what we can do, we can collect one more LED. We can collect one more LED. We can connect one more LED. So here LED, just take the another LED. Yes, we can connect the second LED, and we need one more resistor. For every LED, we need a separate resistor. So connect this resistor. The value of the resistor, make it as a 330 ohm. It is 330 ohm or 220 ohm. Both are working, and just do the connection. I'm repeating the same connection because both LED are having the same configuration. Cathode is connected to ground. Cathode is also connected to ground. Now the anode of the first LED is connected to pin number 2. Now the anode of the second LED is connected to which pin? It should be connected to which pin? Yes, we can connect to the other IO if I want to control to that particular LED as a separately. Now change the color. I'm giving as a yellow color. Okay, you can change even the color of the LED also. I can make it as a yellow. I can make it as a yellow. So it is yellow LED and the red LED. Okay. So need to do some editing on the code side. So here, now what is the changes? Now we have the two LEDs. So we are having the LED 1 equal to 2, and the second LED is LED 2 is equal to, yes, it is connected to pin number 3. Okay. Now LED 1, that is pin number 2, should be output. Okay. Now pin number 3 should be, pin number 3 is also connected to LED. So pin number 3 should be output. So we can make here LED 2 comma output. OUT, PUT. Okay. So LED 1 comma output, LED 2 comma output. Okay. Now what program you want to execute, depending on that, you are actually writing in a loop function. Suppose if you want to on the LED same time, okay, same time you want to on the LED. So what you are doing, LED 1 high, and at the same time you are writing digital write LED 2 comma high. So it means that both LED is high at the same time. Wait for suppose 1 second. Wait for 1 second. And now both LED should be low. Both LED should be low. So how to make that both LED is low? Digital write and then LED 2 comma low, and here LED 1 comma low. You can see here. Very simple. Just 2 LED I am using. Use the 2 declaration. To use the 2 pin mode, use the 2 digital writes. Okay, for every LED you have to use a separate pin mode, separate digital write. Okay, just do remember this. And I'm starting the simulation. Let's see output. Let's see output. Both LED on at the same time, both LED off at the same time. Getting this? Okay, so I need to change here 500 to 1000. On for 1 second, off for 1 second, on for 1 second, off for 1 second. Now I can change the program like this. If I can like this, first LED is on, second LED is low. Second time, first LED is low, but second is high. So it is called as a toggle LED. It is called as a toggle LED. You can see here how it works. So first is on, second is off. Second is high, first is low. High, low, high, low. It is called as a toggle LED. It is called as a toggle LED. Getting this? So this kind of the programming. Have you note down this program? Yes, I'm giving you 2 minutes for note down this program. Also take the snapshot of the circuit diagram. Yes. If you have note down this program, then we'll have the more program based on the LED. We will see that programs. In a next session, because I think at the 4 o'clock you have the placement related session at the 4 o'clock. So madam has informed me that I have to relieve earlier than the 4 o'clock. So we'll stop here, but this is not the end, this is the start. Tomorrow we'll start exactly at 10 o'clock. I will be starting at the 10 o'clock, and we'll resume from this place, like blinking the two LEDs up to the, we are taking up to the different programming concept, like blinking or the running LED or the toggle LED. We are generating uh, different patterns of the LEDs. Why we are doing these patterns of LED? Because we have to master in the programming. Okay, so if you are uh, if you are giving this time, if you are giving your time to the LED programming, then actually this Arduino programming, you will become you will think that this is the very simplest programming in the world, because here there are only two functions we have to play around with. Okay, so pin mode, digital write, these two functions we have learned today. Okay, so we'll stop here and we'll meet you tomorrow exactly at 10 o'clock. I will be giving you some assignments on your WhatsApp group. You have to complete that assignment from your home. Hope you have complete writing this program. Now the today assignment is open a account on Tinkercad. Just create some circuits and execute this first program, blink LED program, and try to implement the program more than two LEDs. Okay, more than two LEDs. Just some changes we need. And what the changes we need, I already explained you. Like second LED, LED1 and LED2. Third LED, LED1, LED2 and LED3. Okay, so only declare these pins where you have connected the anode of that LED. Okay, so we'll stop here. Okay, so we'll stop and we will meet exactly at 10 o'clock tomorrow. Thank you. So any question, anyone? Anyone having question? We have 5 more minutes. Anyone having question, you can ask me. Other those who are having the placement test, they can go for the attending the placement test.